Connie Keene here with Quantum Energy Infusion, where everything is energy. This is Module 3, Tap Into You, Video 3. This is where you are going to learn how to do a tapping sequence that Dr. Callahan calls an algorithm. This is a tapping algorithm. This particular algorithm can be used for anxiety, stress, panic attacks, and this is the same algorithm that he developed for a complex trauma. So depending upon the thought field, your thought field, and how you tune into your thought field, which negative emotion you have tuned into, you will set the intention with your thoughts to either eliminate a negative emotion, anxiety, stress, stop a panic attack, or if you come in with the intention to release the perturbation of a trauma, you will use this with the intention of treating a trauma. This is my favorite of all the algorithms because in my experience, it is the one that comes up to be used the most often. Not only in my experience, but in our 10 years of monthly meetings with the tapping group, I bet we did this. I bet 3 out of the 5 people ended up getting this particular algorithm to work on whatever their negative emotion was, that perturbation that they were about to eliminate. So I know for a fact, this is like having this is just a golden ticket to releasing something that you no longer want in your experience. Or if we're going to use these terms, to eliminate a perturbation in your thought field that is the cause of your emotional distress. And when that perturbation is gone, when that perturbation is collapsed, all of that chemical rush that goes with it is gone. Yeah. The biological reaction, neurological, hormonal, chemical rush that goes through your body, that was all stored in this active coded information, in this perturbation. You have collapsed that. Here's how Dr. Callahan describes it. Remember, the following thought field therapy algorithms will not extinguish the memories of the trauma you have experienced. You will still remember everything that has happened. But they will collapse the perturbations that were seared into your thought field during the terrible event and that are responsible for the symptoms that have disrupted your life for so long. The memories will no longer have the emotional power they once did. Excuse me, I've got a screen pop up here. There it goes. You have the memory without the emotional charge, without the cascade of chemicals and emotions that used to be associated with that memory. All right, so the tapping algorithm. Now, your daily exercise this week, the 4 thumps, teaches you 3 of the 4 spots you need for this algorithm. If you have not watched video 1, stop right now. Go back and watch video 1. I'll see you back here. An algorithm begins with you tuning into your thought field, the negative emotion, fear, phobia, trauma, whatever it is that you want to release. You tuning into that thought field brings that emotion, that perturbation forward with all of its active coded information. So that perturbation might be in your shoulder, might be in your stomach meridian, might be in your aura, might be in a chakra, might be in your heart chakra. It's in there, it's in your thought field. And by you tuning into your thought field, you bring this perturbation forward. It might feel horrible. It could really feel horrible, especially if this has been a trauma. Let's go back to the trauma of the car accident where I broke my back and rearranged my guts. Okay? That felt horrible every time I thought about that. This perturbation activated. Now, the good news is I already was a tapping practitioner, and I started tapping the minute I had consciousness. I started tapping because the pain was so searing that I couldn't even breathe. And the fear was so overwhelming that my parents were not okay that I couldn't breathe. And I I started tapping immediately, and I did this algorithm. Okay, so let's use trauma. Let's go right for the trauma, right? This is the same algorithm that you use for trauma as you would use for an anxiety attack. Or even if I have anxiousness, even if I am anxious about recording this video, I can use this very same tapping sequence before I start taping. I actually used a different energy exercise before I started taping this. This, however, would have been a perfect one. So, first thing you do, tune in the thought field. All right, I've got it. Now, I'm going to be real honest here. I do not have an emotional charge around that accident anymore. It was 5 years ago. I have tapped on that thing and tapped and tapped and tapped, and it's a fact to me now. And I will decide if I am going to use any language from that or not that happened in my past. What I can tell you is you're not going to feel a release from me because the perturbation has already been eliminated. And honestly, I was thinking about it this morning. I was trying to find something that's really active in me right now, but I couldn't even think of anything. I tap so much and move my energy daily, hourly, sometimes every 15 minutes. I mean, I move it out. I do the best I know how to process life right as it comes at me. And this is a terrific tool for that. This energy technology will process it right as it comes at you. And you know what? If it's an activating an old perturbation, boom, that perturbation is eliminated. And if you're using this as life is coming at you to process that, you don't create a perturbation, right? Boom, it doesn't get stored in your thought field. That comes in, goes right out. Doesn't even get a chance to be a source of coded active information. Okay, so we've tuned in. So right now you're tuning in to what is you really want to work on. Think of a trauma, because I'm going to approach this from a trauma. So you've got a trauma. Now, when you've got that thought, when you're tuned into that thought field, what's your number? What's your subjective units of distress, SUD? On a number of 0 to 10, where are you? Well, I can tell you when it happened, I was a 10. I was a 10x10. I mean, I was hardly functional. So let's say you're an 8 on something. You know what? Let's say I'm a 3 on this because I've already worked on it so much, right? But most of the time, if it's a trauma, we're a 10. Okay, and you're going to keep that number in mind because we're going to see if we've moved anything from there. But let's say for our purposes here, you're a 10. And you are going to tap, because we already know this, and because you've tuned into that perturbation in the thought field with all of its coded active information, you probably now are experiencing whatever negative effects are stored in that perturbation. This will be the last time you have to feel it. I have helped people in sessions go through things that were so horrible, they were unspeakable, and they didn't want to go there. And I said, if you will trust this process, this is the last time you ever have to experience that horror. And that was the truth for them. So don't pick the worst things that ever happened to you right now. So you're going through that. You've got a 10 on the SUD. Your SUD score is a 10. Now, you are going to tap right here at your eyebrow. This is your bladder meridian. This is bladder 2 right here. You are going to begin tapping at your eyebrow, thinking about that trauma, thinking about the part that really upset you with that trauma. And take a breath. Now in the book, he says tap 5 to 8 times. You know what? I tap like until I don't want to tap there anymore. So 5 to 8 times, I understand that. But if this thing's really bad, I've got more than 5 or 8 taps, or I might have 25. From there, you know this one. This is stomach 3. Yeah, you already learned that. You've already done it in your 4 thumbs exercise. Go to stomach 3, still thinking about the trauma, thinking about the horror. Oh my God, how could that have happened? Are you kidding me? How did I even survive that? What the heck was that person thinking? You go from there to spleen 21, your spleen spot. Now, you can tap like this. You don't have to thump anymore. I just find that in my experience of energy work, I love the symmetry of having both sides of my body be equally treated. They do not have to be. The energy works, the energy flows. This is my experience. It's probably having been a piano teacher all those years and using both sides of my brain and both sides of my body. It's how I choose to behave, okay? And then the kidney spot. You already know this one. We found it this morning. You found it in your daily exercise this morning. Okay, so you've tapped in 4 places, totally riling up that entire experience. You're going to take a breath right here. What's your SUD? Is it still a 10? Okay. Does it come down? Is it maybe an 8? Let's say it's an 8. All right, let's keep going. Take a breath. Now, we're going to do the middle part of this algorithm. You are going to tap the gamut spot. This is between fingers 4 and 5, about halfway down in your hand. Doesn't matter which hand, makes no difference. And you're going to tap right there. For those of you that know about meridians, this is your triple warmer meridian. This is like the general of the meridians right here. We'll talk about it more next week. So you're tapping on this gamut spot, and you are going to do some activities now that engage the brain and release information from the brain. You're going to look straight ahead. You're going to open your eyes and focus on a point. You are going to close your eyes. You are going to open your eyes. You're going to hold your head steady. You're going to take your eyes down to the left, and you're going to bring them back up to center. You're going to take your eyes down to the right, and you're going to bring them back up to center. You are going to hum a tune. That activates one side of your brain. You're going to count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That activates the other side of your brain. You're going to hum again. All the while tapping the gamut point and thinking about what's wrong. I'm going to do that straight through. Look straight ahead, close your eyes, open your eyes down to the left, back up to center, eyes down to the right, back up to center. Whoops, I forgot to circle around. Now you're going to take your eyes and you literally going to hold your head still. You're going to circle your eyeballs clear around the socket, around, down to the left, and back up. Woo! Sometimes that makes me dizzy. Now you're going to do the other direction. You're going to circle to the left all the way so you can see the orb, the eye socket, all the way down, all the way over to the right, and back up. You're going to hum. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hum. Pick the tune of your choice. A lot of times I do God Bless America. Okay. That's the middle section. Now we are going to repeat the algorithm part, which is bladder, stomach, spleen, kidney, or eyebrow, eye, spleen, arm, collarbone. You can call it anything you want, but you might as well know the names of the meridians because you're learning about energy. So this is a bladder meridian, stomach meridian, spleen meridian, kidney meridian. And you are really rocketing through this by doing this and by thinking about this coded information that you have. You are blasting energy through these meridians, and the meridians, all the systems engage, right? They all have this beautiful dance, the meridians and the chakras and then your aura. I mean, it's just like this gorgeous energetic dance. Okay. So by doing this and using your meridian system, yes, you are finding that, right? And you are blasting that energy through. You're blocking if you will, you're pushing that blockage out of your system. If you think about that perturbation as a blockage instead of existing in the ethers, right? So now we've already done the tapping for the first time through. We've done the gamut part, and now we're going to tap again. All right. Still thinking about the trauma. Still thinking about, oh my gosh, are my parents okay? Oh my gosh, our car is totaled, I think. I don't know, but we're in the snow. We're in a snowdrift. It's a whiteout blizzard. How is anybody even going to find us? Still thinking about anything that can be left from that trauma. Is my daddy really okay? I think he has a concussion because he doesn't seem to know who he is or where he is. Oh, wow, I'm going to stay there and tap on that some more because that really moved some energy. You can stay someplace longer and tap. You can breathe through it. Is that releasing? It did. That released. Okay. So I now have completed the tapping algorithm for a trauma, which is also the very same sequence or algorithm you can use for anxiety, stress, a panic attack, any kind of stuff like that. It actually works for addictions too. I love this particular algorithm. Oh, okay. What's my SUD score, my subjective units of distress? Where am I right now? I'm a 0. Okay, well, I'm a 0. Now, I've told you, I've been working on this for 5 years, right? I've got most of those little perturbations gone. Okay, so I'm at a 0. Now, if I'm still at a 1 or a 2, chances are I'm complete with that. The perturbation has collapsed, and the rest of it's leaving, And there's a beautiful thing called the eye roll that he brought in more near the end of the development of the process. Again, this has to do with your brain and neural release and neuro-linguistic programming, a lot of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap on the gamut spot. You are going to hold your head steady and your eyes are going to drop down to the floor. Keep that chin steady. Drop your eyes down to the floor. You're going to tap the gamut spot and you are slowly going to roll your eyes across the floor, up the wall, till you see, keep your chin still, till you see the corner of the ceiling and the wall. You're going to go across the ceiling till your eyeballs roll back in your head. That's the floor to ceiling eye roll. We're going to do that again, tapping the other side, okay? Floor to ceiling eye roll. It doesn't usually take that long. Chin steady, head steady, look down. Look across, sweep up, very smooth, sweep up, look at the ceiling till your eyes roll back in your head. Now, if you'll notice, I just went forward. That's my sign of completion. That's how my body tells me true, I'm done. That's part of the body testing, the true for you testing for me that lets me know that I am complete with the process. And so be aware of that, because who knows, you may have one like that. Now, that was a whole lot of talking. I am going to do that very fast. Bladder, stomach, spleen, kidney. It's what you tune into, to your thought field, that makes this work, that finds the perturbation, so the perturbation can be eliminated, released, collapsed, eliminated, all right? And you still have the memory. But we didn't take that away, because guess what? It still happened. We're in the third dimension. It still happened. Okay? You begin by tuning in your thought field to what you want to release. You set a score, your SUD score. Let's say it's a 10. You start tapping. Bladder point, eyebrows, what's bothering you? Oh my gosh, say it out loud. If you're by yourself, say it out loud. If you don't want anybody else to hear, don't say it out loud, think it. Under the eye, stomach meridian. Here it comes. Oh boy, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but here it comes. I'm talking about it, I'm experiencing it. Wow. I'm gonna tap a little faster, okay. Spleen meridian. Take a breath, this energy's moving through me. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about all the horrible things that happen. Okay, collarbone. Wow. Breathing. This isn't quite as bad as it was. Still thinking about it, still thinking about it. Okay, I've completed that part. What's my SUD? I'm already from a 10 to a 6. That's a good thing, all right? I can do the gamut spot. Open my eyes, close my eyes, open my eyes, look down to the left, back up to center, look down to the right, back up to center. Circle my eyes in one way, slowly going all the way around. Circle my eyes the other direction, all the way around. Hum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the end of the gamut spot, that center part. Now we're going to tap again. Okay, I'm back. I was still thinking about what was happening while I was doing the gamut spot. You know what? I'm not so bad now. That's already shifted quite a bit. Oh, here's this. But you know what? That part still really bothers me. What about that? Boy, that makes me sad. Okay, well, not as sad as I used to be. Now this part, I got to think about this because I want this to go. I'm ready to release it. I'm ready to release it. Ready to release it. And I'm going to tap here since I am now much less than I was before. I'm going to continue to tap here. A couple deep breaths. The tapping naturally stopped. My body is naturally stopping itself. I'm a 1. Probably on my way to a 0, yes. I'm going to do the eye roll to seal it up. Okay, tap on the gamut spot. Keep your chin steady, look all the way down, roll across. Gradually roll your eyes up and up and up until they roll back in your head. Other side, tap the gamut spot, chin steady, drop your eyes, over, roll them up, and across. This is complete. I am at a 0. Now, it's possible that you can have a shift in your thought field. Let's say you're just rocking along and things are going great, and you were like down at you were at a 10, and you're at a 4, you're at a 3. Things are moving, and all of a sudden, before you know it, something rushes in, and you're like an 8 or a 10, and you're like, I can't breathe, what's wrong with my throat? You've got this rush of energy, Here's what just happened. Your thought field shifted. Another perturbation came up with more active encoded information. This is common. If you're working with a practitioner, they can identify that and they will guide you through that. If it's happening to you and all of a sudden you were at a 10, you went down to a 4, down to a 3, and boom, something's happened. You have another perturbation that has appeared that you get to work on, or not. So you can close down the one you're working on. Let's say you're at work, you really got triggered, you went in the bathroom, right? You're in the bathroom stall tapping the heck out of this stuff, right? So you can go back in and be in a meeting, because guess what? You have a meeting in 5 minutes. Well, maybe you don't want to take on that second perturbation that just showed up itself, but you sure can bring that first one to a close and let that come on down. Breathe wherever you are. Are you a 3? Are you a 2? Do the eye roll. Get yourself back together. And you know, we talk about in the trapped emotion section, we talk about after releasing emotion, how it's kind of nice to feed your system, right? To receive some energy. So how about if you just drop your head back and open your chest and receive, let that life force energy feed you in your energy systems. Let it feed you and fill in anything that's been deleted with life force energy. And end in gratitude, or joy, or peace, or relief. This is a very powerful energy technology. And any way that you choose to use tapping will benefit you, your body, your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual self. It's a brilliant technology. If you already do another form of tapping, I invite you to try this one. You will have a new experience by trying a new technology. Yeah, it's still tapping. It's thought field therapy tapping. So give yourself an opportunity to experience this. We will tap in your Module 3 energy session. So come prepared with something big. And already have done this once or twice on your own. I want you to have experience with it first before you meet with me, because you'll already understand the ideas, you will have experienced the technology, you will understand what kind of shifts happen. And when I use this terminology, you will be familiar with it. And we won't waste any of your energy treatment time talking about definitions. You'll already have it all right here. Until I see you in session 3. Everything is energy.